그때 개인적으로 질문하실 수 있는 분들은 질문하도록 하시고요. 다음으로는 그 The Things 네트워크의 설립자이신 그 Wienke Giezeman 씨한테 설명을 좀 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 박수로 맞이해 주십시오.
Thank you very, very much. Can we get the presentation on? Thank you. My name is Wienke Giezeman, and I'm going to tell you a story how we build a global ecosystem of Internet of Things entrepreneurs in 6 months, and how we are with the global community building Internet of Things data networks ground up. Just a little thing about myself. I'm a startup entrepreneur now for 4 years. I had a background in telco, and I founded my first startup in 2012. It was a video-on-demand portal, a Netflix for art house. I sold it to a Dutch publisher in 2014, and after my first startup, I thought, what's next? And of course, I was looking in all these big trends. You heard them today: artificial intelligence, big data, and of course also Internet of Things. And I've been hearing a lot about Internet of Things already, I think for around 15 years when the concept came, and it was really unclear to me. And you try to Google Internet of Things, and you will come onto all kinds of concepts. And when I did that, I thought, yeah, Internet of Things is like this smart fridge, and it was promised to us 15 years ago, and I don't know who has a smart fridge. I'm South Korea, maybe you have it, but in Europe nobody has a smart fridge, and it feels really like gadgety and just putting smart in front of things. So for instance, a smart fork, or a smart coffee cup, or a smart toothbrush, a smart egg tray. Couldn't think of that. And this is I think a really nice gadget. It's by Budweiser. It's a beer brand from the US, and it goes off when your favorite football team in the US scores a touchdown. So nice, but it feels really gadgety and feels really, doesn't feel like really a new movement or a new era. And when you look at all these applications and what they call Internet of Things, it's actually Internet of Humans. For instance, wearables are called Internet of Things, but yeah, it's a thing, it's a watch, but actually it's more of an extension of my mobile phone, and it's really Internet of Things. Of course it's connected, but is it really Internet of Things? I don't know. And if you look at the technologies that are underlying to all these applications, you see also that they're actually for humans. Bluetooth is to make a personal internet network around you as a person, around your mobile phone. 3G is made for watching videos on Facebook when you're in public transport, and Wi-Fi is made for 4K video on your tablet. So really, this connectivity is still made for humans and not so much for things. So what's the Internet of Things? And I had this question, and still looking for some new ventures. And then in this great ecosystem in Amsterdam, I went one night to a hackerspace, and somebody showed me the LoRa technology. And they showed me this little device, and they said, this is like a Wi-Fi, but it can connect up to 10,000 sensors and small devices in a range of 10 kilometers. And the bandwidth used by this technology is very low, so these sensors and devices can last a long time on a battery. And if you compare that to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, these are complete different characteristics, also made for a different goal, the Internet of Things. And I was totally amazed by it. It was still 0.9 specs under NDA, and I thought directly, okay, this is a new way of connecting stuff. This is probably going to be interesting. So I was totally amazed by these characteristics. Long range, so up to 10 kilometers of connectivity from one gateway. It can connect to a lot of devices, 10,000. Your Wi-Fi hotspot at home can at most do 50 devices. And the bandwidth is really low, and therefore the power consumption is also very low, and the device can last on a battery for up to 3 years. And it's also using open frequencies, so frequencies that are available for everybody to use as long as you follow certain regulations. So this technology is available. The the spectrum that it uses is free. I think in South Korea it's 915 megahertz, and the equipment is low cost. So at the time, these devices, these gateways where you can build these network with, are around €1,000. If you compare that to 2G or 3G kind of networks, that's like 1,000th of the cost. So, just to give you a small example of like what this technology can bring. So this is a smart mouse trap. In the Netherlands, if you place mouse traps, you have to clean the mouse within 24 hours. So you have to have somebody that walks around and checks all these mouse traps. That's quite a large HR investment, an operational cost heavy. So if you make it smart and make it send a message, if there's a mouse in there, you only have to send somebody to the mouse trap. So that will save you cost on HR. Then you can ask yourself, this whole building is filled with Wi-Fi. Why don't we connect this mousetrap to Wi-Fi? You can do that, but then you have to have somebody that walks by this mousetrap every 2 weeks to replace the battery, because it will run on the battery, because Wi-Fi is so much draining on your battery. So, and this also shows a bit what of a kind of business case is behind this technology, because you can reduce on your operational costs, and the operational cost of maintaining such a network is also very low, and that's why you have a positive business case very quick. So I saw this technology. I thought, this is something, just finished my last venture, we're up to something new. And I thought, let's build the internet out of this. Let's see if we can build a larger area where we cover this network with. And then I looked at how the internet was created. And the internet was created first by creating local private networks, and then connecting them together as one internet. So I thought, why don't I ask companies and people from Amsterdam to buy these gateways. These gateways was a range of 10 kilometers. So imagine yourself a circle with a radius of 10 kilometers plotted on the map. I thought I only need 10 of these to cover Amsterdam, so I need to have 10 people that want to build this network. And I need software to make all this network, all this equipment work together as one wide area network. So this is a technical challenge. So I met up with a friend of mine, Johan Stocking. I said, do you want to start this venture together? He's an internet entrepreneur for Amsterdam as well, and also a great programmer. So he said to me, yeah, this is technically feasible. Let's do this. And let's try to see if we can create a community of people that want to build this. So first, we needed to find people that actually want to build this network and then build the software. So we went to the same hackerspace again in this great ecosystem in Amsterdam, and we told them our mission is to build a decentralized, open and crowdsourced IoT data network owned and operated by its users. And maybe for you it sounds very abstract. They were going crazy. So we're 100 people in the room. I said 10 people of them. One day later, we're in one room. I said, we're going to build this software open source for everybody to use to make a global Internet of Things data network, and we're going to start in Amsterdam, and we set ourselves the goal to build this network in Amsterdam in 6 weeks. And it was a very great group of people. There was a physicist, there was a policeman, it was a student. It was really a group of crazy ones. And of course, it was a lot of fun as well. So all the technical parts, we covered it. We knew that it was feasible to build this network in Amsterdam in 6 weeks. But then we needed the funding. We needed people in Amsterdam to buy this equipment and hook it up to our virtual network. So then you need a less abstract technical story than that. And that's why we created a use case, something that could make use of the network that relates to the daily life in Amsterdam. And what we made a little water detector that you can put in your boats in the canals in Amsterdam. So in the canals in Amsterdam, there's a lot of boats. In Amsterdam, it rains a lot. These boats are always leaking as well. So one way or the other, there will be water in your boat. And what the water sensor does when it detects water, it will send the owner of the boat an SMS. And when you respond to that SMS with clear the water from my boat, a surface comes by, a little boat, and clears the water from your boat. So there, IoT really has a good place in a use case where it extends your senses, then gives you the data, and then eventually feeds that data into the on-demand economy, the surface that clears the water from your boat, to actually perform the action. So that's totally related to the people we were talking to. Of course, a lot of startups and startup hubs were interested, but also large corporates like KPMG and Deloitte, and even the Port of Amsterdam was really interested in this technology because they saw the potential of harvesting all this kind of sensor data from their port area in this very cheap way. 6 weeks later, we installed 10 gateways in Amsterdam and covered the entire city. There was a huge event at our office, another big part of the startup ecosystem at Rockstart. And we had this event. There were hackers, makers, entrepreneurs, people from the government, media. There was a TV crew there. So we had this launch because the people of Amsterdam empowered themselves to build something a large corporation or a telco or ISP would usually do, build a mobile data network. So next, what we did is our goal was to do this global. And that's why we created this video and sent it into the world.
Imagine an Internet of Things data network that's created by the people and free and open for everyone to use. That's our mission at the Things Network. We are a group of people that is building a global, crowdsourced, open, free Internet of Things data network. New technologies allow for things to connect to the Internet without Bluetooth, 3G or Wi-Fi. This technology is called LoRaWAN. It's very battery efficient, so devices can last up to 3 years. It's long range, it has a reach of around 10 kilometers, and it's low bandwidth, ideal for the Internet of Things. The good thing is that this network can be built at a fraction of the cost of traditional mobile data networks. The bandwidth used by LoRaWAN is open, and the network equipment is low cost. In the old world, building such a network was up to large corporations. We built the network ground up, funded by its users. So with a small group of people, it's possible to provide data connectivity for an entire city. It's our mission to support that globally. The city of Amsterdam was covered in 4 weeks, and use cases were built on top of that, starting from the first day. We believe the abundance in Internet of Things data connectivity we're providing result in exponential innovation in the Internet of Things. You are the network, let's build this thing together.
So that's what we said. You are the network, let's build this thing together. And one day later, I got a mail from somebody from Sydney, and he said, I'm gonna found the Things Network Sydney. And a day later, I got a mail from somebody from Sao Paulo. A day later, I got a mail from somebody from Buenos Aires, Cape Town, Boston, Manchester. So this news, this was going viral across the global IoT tech scene. And that was really great to see, and what we did directly is build a platform where people could create their own community under our brand, because that was the example of in Amsterdam, and the idea is we build a global network. So we joined our forces, and everybody around the world copied our ideas, copied our brand, and also copied all the code we've written. And we got a little feedback from them, namely is that the equipment available at that time to install it and hook it up to our network was technically pretty hard. So it will take you a day. So they thought we need a bit more of a user-friendly equipment to do this. And they said we want to build use cases. We want to prototype. And we want to somehow something that we can create our own applications. So what we did is we decided to create two products: the gateway at a lower price and very user friendly. So it was cost around €200, $200, and it's plug and play, and then you can create a network. And two development devices, you see them here on the right, which are in the hardware scene, is a common platform called Arduino, where you can prototype your hardware on. And we asked this community of already 1,000 people, if we're gonna produce these devices, are you gonna buy them? So 900 of them said, yes, this is very interesting, let's do this. So that was a really, really interesting validation. So the next step for us was, because we didn't have any funds to finance the hardware development, is to start a Kickstarter. For the people that don't know what Kickstarter is a platform where you can pitch a product, and then your future buyers can already buy the product, and with that money you can finance all the pre-finance you need to build a hardware product. And we announced that on the crowdsourcing week, global crowdsourcing week in Brussels in October last year, and that went like crazy. So this community stood up with one day, with 1 hour we had $30,000, with one day we had $80,000, we had our $150,000 in 8 days. And in 30 days, we crowdsourced $300,000. And the interesting thing here is that people buy these gateways with this money. So we're going to ship 1,000 of these gateways in July, and then our network is going to completely explode because we're going to ship them all around the world, and we're going to expand our network literally with 100-fold. And for me and Johan as social entrepreneurs, and why we do this was also very interesting because it was, for us, a very cheap way to validate how good this idea was. Because if you have this concept of by the people, for the people, it's very romantic, so people love to praise about it, and of course you can tweet about it, but that doesn't really tell us like if we're right. But if 1,000 people each pledge $300 for something they believe in, you know, you're probably on the right way. So for us as entrepreneurs, that was really, really the most important thing about this Kickstarter. This is the Netherlands. If we're going to ship our products in July, then this is going to be the coverage in the Netherlands. We had a lot of media attention. On the international blogs, on the Dutch news. We won the Internet Society Innovation of the Year award, and all these communities, they kept growing. So this is a screenshot of last 2 weeks ago. This is the current state, and we've got like communities all around the world now, just individuals starting it with a great idea, copying all our brand, our ideas, our code, and contributing to this global network. And at the moment, we have more than 100 communities, 1,000 members involved, and also already 185 gateways up and running, which is pretty interesting because these are still the not so user-friendly gateways, and it takes a lot of time to install this. This really shows the energy behind this community. This, for instance, is our community in Tehran, and you've got all kinds of activities, so people doing meetups, printing our logos on their shirts. This is in Buenos Aires. This is quite I think a maybe more dangerous setup where they put something on a flag post. This is somebody who made a bike tracker in Utrecht. We're connecting cows in the Netherlands. This is a very interesting use case where we're working together with Safecast. It's an organization from Japan. And Japan was not very clear after the earthquake what the status was of radioactivity around the country. So an organization decided to measure the radioactivity around the country with its citizens. And this is, we are working together with them also to connect radioactivity sensors to the Things network. This is a device that measures radioactivity and then sends it over this LoRaWAN network or the Things network to the internet. This is a community in Oxford, London. It measures the height of the water in the canals, aggregates the data, and based on that, doing flood warnings, also transmitting the data over the Things network. This is a startup from the Netherlands making energy marketplaces in India, small villages where you can buy electricity in a battery we're going to connect these batteries also to the internet to see what the status is. Wildlife trackers, we're doing for the Port of Amsterdam smart parking lots. So in the Port of Amsterdam, there's a lot of truck movements, and these trucks are just going overall across the terrain of the port, looking for a free parking lot. What we're going to make is we're going to build sensors inside of the parking lots and make a little app that the truck drivers can see where the free parking lots are. And so we have this network. We have all kinds of use cases building on top of this. We have this global growing community. So this all went from a crazy idea to a project and now into an organization. And when Johan and I were sitting together in December last year, we thought, okay, what's next? And we said, the only reason why this makes sense, what we're doing, is that we're going to create value on top of this network. So that means that either you make your city more clean, you make your business more profitable, you make your governmental processes more efficient. So we have to create value on top of this network. And how we're going to do that? By helping people to make these applications that create value. And who are going to make these applications? These are the developers. So we need to focus on these developers. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a lot of events, speaking to businesses, developers about the technology. We are making content. We're releasing the Things Network Labs with a clear cookbook, with clear recipes and instructions how to make these use cases. And I always, after my story, I get the question like, how do I get started? Very easy. As a developer, I advise you just to get your hands on this hardware. Go to thethingsnetwork.org. Go to our product, and you can pre-order it right now and just play around with it, because that's the best way to get the creative processes going. Also, if you're interested in open source development, we invite everybody. Businesses, we invite you to have a look at all the example applications we have on the website and be inspired by that and see what this new technology can bring you. And brainstorm about it with your customers to see what you can do with it. And most of all, just prototype. Just build maybe very crazy applications just to get your hands on it and to get the feeling of this new type of Internet of Things. And of course, as a city, we already got more than 100 cities connected. You can go to thethingsnetwork.org and submit for being the initiator of a city and start your community today. So that's a bit of my story. We last year, July, built a network in Amsterdam in 6 weeks, and how now in a little more than 6 months it's spreading all across the world. And in 2 months we're going to ship our own gateways to 1,000 community members, and we believe at that moment a new chapter for the Things Network will be there, and we're looking forward to all kinds of amazing stuff that's being built on this network. Thank you very much.
이전에